Hello there, Ray here, as well as Excel,
Hello.
and today we'd like to show you a compact and cheap AFK wart farm. So with this wart farm, we want to focus on the player being able to AFK and collect wart, as well as making it compact and cheap to use. So the way that this farm works is that after the wart's all grown up, then there will be a clock that will send off water. Water will come down, wash all the wart up. Then after the water is retracted again, then the player is sent, he will pick up some of the wart and replant all of it, and then the extra wart will be sent all the way down to the chest here where the player can collect it. So the clock at the top here is a slow clock which has two hopper clocks going off, and the top one has a set amount of items, and the next one will just extend the bottom set of clock, which has completely full of items. Pretty much the top one takes about like 3 seconds, so for every item to move across the bottom clock, it takes 3 seconds for him to travel across. And using this, we can get a time about around 34 minutes for the entire cycle, and we use this to allow the wort to grow. So in about 30 minutes, 50% of the wort will be fully grown, and at the fully grown stage is the only stage in which when you break it, it will produce more than one wort, otherwise it will only produce one wort back. So after about 30 minutes, then this redstone block will be retracted from this monostable, and it will be set over here. This will allow the water to flow down and knock out the wort, and it will send it downward. Some wort may end up on the side here, which the player can pick up and use to replant. Majority of wort will end up going through here, and once it goes through this hole here, it will end up down in this little pocket area. And the items will sit here, and the player will come by in a minecart and be able to pick up these items that are inside these pockets and use those warts to replant. Then the wire goes down layer by layer, removing each of the warts until it gets to the very bottom. The very bottom layer, it will take the wart and it will take any extras that come off of it and place them down in this chest down here. Now, with this setup, with a size like this, it will produce about 600 warts per hour. Once all the nether wart has been washed away, then this block will be placed over here, and this will allow the water to be retracted. And then, after a short while, then the signal will come over to this minecart here, and it will send the player off, and he will be able to replant all the wart. Now, the first pass, he may miss some of the wart, but as he goes through all the layers, at the very end, he will be able to hit the end here, and then he'll be sent back again. In this case, he is able to plant every single slot of the soul sand with nether wart. This allows you to have the maximum amount of area filled with netherwort that you can with this design. It's really compact, having only a rail for every netherwort patch, and the water can easily come down here and remove it all. Nice thing is that with all these pockets here, the player can come by and pick up all the wort that he needs to replenish the planting, and we've tested this for several days, and it allows the player to pick up enough netherwort that he can replant the system. And plus all the extras come down here to the chest down there. So the way that we keep the water from spilling over on top of the rails is that we just kind of surround it with these trapdoors here. So when the water hits this block here, the closest spot that it can flow to and break an item is right here where the nether wart is. That way it won't try to flow this way, because this way it has a whole meter to travel as well as any of these other directions. That's why it flows this way after coming down through the layers. But as you can see, we really concentrate on being really simple. All you need is some building materials, some rails, really simple. There's only a couple power rails that you need. You can use wooden or iron trapdoors, don't really matter. And you need some soul sand to go with your nether wart, and a little bit of clockwork at the top. Not too much to it. And if you want to, you can make this design wider or taller. It's really up to you, the more rates you want. Now, if you would want to allow the wart to grow longer periods of time or shorter periods of time, you can change the clock time by just increasing or decreasing the number of items in this top hopper here. There's also an off switch, so when you're done using it, you can shut this farm off, and it will just stop these hoppers from moving around. This way you don't have the thing keep flushing all your wart away since you need it to replant. Since the player in the minecart is only placing items, he does not take any hunger, so you don't have to worry about starving inside this farm. But if the player was breaking items, then you would have to worry about this, but we don't have to worry about that since the water is breaking off the items. Now, you do want to come in and place in some lighting just to avoid having any mobs spawn in here, in case your farm gets so big that mobs can spawn like on the bottom layer while you're way up at the top. If you would like to build this up on your very own world, I will provide a world download in the description. But there you have it, guys, a cheap and compact wart farm that you can AFK. If you found this interesting, show us with a like, and if you want to see more simple farms like this, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. Bye.
Bye.